Thomas Shapiro is a brilliant man. He's a professor at Brandeis University. He's an author of a few books, a couple of which you see on the back table. One is The Hidden Cost of Being African American, How Wealth Perpetuates Inequality. Another he co-authored with Melvin Oliver, who was involved with the Ford Foundation. I believe he's now University of California, Santa Barbara. They co-authored Black Wealth, White Wealth, which the 10th anniversary edition came out last year.
A number of communities have what they call EITC, Earned Income Tax Credit campaigns. You must work to be eligible, essentially work, not quite, it doesn't have to be full-time work, but your income from that work has to be little enough. It's about 150% of the poverty line where the eligibility tops off. And you check a box and you file on your income tax return for a refund. And it's progressive because it's scaled down. The fewer dollars that you earn, the higher amount of EITC you're eligible for. The key here is that unlike most other tax policies, it's not a credit. It's refundable. So even if you don't owe taxes, you get the money back. A lot of people I know in the business say that the EITC, Earned Income Tax Credit, has become, by fiat, the largest anti-poverty program in the United States because it puts more money back into the pockets of people that need it than anything else. And the discretion about what to do with it is totally yours. It's your money. A number of communities have launched EITC campaigns that tend to work in the following way. And it's, I'm sure there must be something going on here, but I think this might be an area where a lot of really interesting leverage can be created in this area. A model EITC campaign looks like at tax preparation time, community-based organizations, faith-based organizations, and others provide free tax preparation clinics. And they do the service. And they bring to people's attention, often for the first time, what this EITC is. People don't know about it, essentially, unless you're told, or you really need the fine print on the tax returns. And it's pretty easy for somebody to help you fill it out at a tax preparation center, or have somebody trained in your own organization to do it. On average, the average EITC tax refund is about $2,000. Today, because of legislation that was passed last year, that some organizations I work with was involved in, the refund can be split. You can designate 2 or even 3 places where the refund should be sent. So you can have, theoretically, half of it comes back to me as a check. The bills I have to pay, the credit card debts I want to break down. I can designate the other 50% into an individual retirement account. I could put it into a medical savings account. God, I would never suggest that. I don't know why I threw that idea off. You can put it into a 509 account for your child's college education. You can put it into an account, a savings account of your own, that you're building to buy a home, getting that down payment nest egg together to buy a home. Financial literacy can be done such that when the refund is done on the tax return, the counselor or the financial literacy expert or the tax preparer says, you've got $2,500 coming back that should come in about 4 weeks. Let's think about your family budget. And let's think about what makes sense for you and your family. Now that's all on an individual level. And it's really easy. And there are communities that have modeled campaigns like this. You don't have to create the wheel here. But what's real intriguing, I think, is that if we think about what percent of people in Hampton Roads are eligible for EITC but not using it, that is, how much money is left on that table. I was looking at some data this morning, and I don't know the area well enough. Somebody else, it might be a good project to turn over to some researchers at Norfolk State or Old Dominion or somewhere, or even encourage me to get involved in. It looked to me like there were about 135,000 returns that filed for EITC in the Hampton Roads area where the data was last available. And the average return was about $1,800. Now I just quickly calculated. If 10,000 families or people don't know about it, or don't file, or forget, and their average return is close to $2,000, we're talking about what, $20 million left on the table in the community with just 10,000 people. We can do, the econometrics are, we can do a fairly simple study about, of that $20 million hypothetically, how much is going to circulate in this community. Behavioral economics will guide us and tell us what's going to happen with that money. To such an extent that, see, I can just drop this bomb and leave town at 3:30 plane today. Such an extent that what people in this area might want to think about doing is going before your state legislature or your local city and say, if in Norfolk $20 million is left on the table, why don't we as a city launch a campaign, encourage financial literacy, tax preparation sites, put people in community organizations, faith-based organizations that can do the tax preparation work, and offer them an extra 10% refund. And we can justify that, and again, the numbers are hypothetical. Take the principle here, not the numbers. We can justify that by understanding how much of that 20 million is going to stay in the community and is create more tax base, so that it really becomes a break-even point from the city. The city gets all the glory of stepping up to the plate for low and moderate income families, but it can be done in a way that really doesn't, it's pretty revenue neutral and provides a really good foundation for the community. Asset-based policy. Now, those EITC campaigns can also act as what we call gateway projects, because you can start then to talk to people in the community, the individual tax filers, and the community in general about what are they going to do with that refund, and to think about developing financial tools for themselves to launch their own social mobility. And it has to be customized, it has to be tailored to the needs of the family and the community. One model does not fit all here. But that EITC campaign can act as a gateway into an organization, whether it's a CDC, a Community Development Corporation, a faith-based organization, a community organization, whatever it is, to then think about, well, maybe we should think about applying for an individual development account program. Maybe we can reach out to other partnerships and not just offer the EITC tax refund, but we can build around that